Today, we're going to talk about the hierarchy of financial needs. Before you can build a financial plan, you have to understand the different elements involved in the plan and how they work together. To illustrate that, I wanted to compare this with the understanding of basic human behavior. If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you understand that humans act according to a pyramid of various psychological behaviors. We start with the basic psychological needs. This is basically food, shelter, and clothing. We move on to taking care of our own personal safety. Once we feel safe and secure, we then focus on seeking social connections in the form of love and friendship. From there, we then focus our attention on gaining the respect of others, building a reputation, seeking the approval of others, whether it's in the form of career, social interaction. And then finally, once we have achieved our basic needs and all the other elements, we focus on self-actualization, which is basically our achievement of goals we've set out for ourselves. This can be in the form of a career objective, financial freedom, for example, getting married, having a child, that sort of thing. In order to achieve this final goal, however, you have to take care of the lower level needs. Similarly, we have something similar on the financial end of things where we have the hierarchy of financial needs. Again, it's organized according to 5 basic elements starting from the bottom. In order to achieve the final ultimate goal, we have to first work on the lower level needs, starting with cash flow and basic needs. This is where budgeting comes in. We analyze and look at your daily living expenses to ensure that the income you have is sufficient to cover your daily living expenses and you're not falling into debt and able to sustain this lifestyle for the long term. Once you have felt that you can cover your basic needs, then you can move on to financial safety. This is in the form of insurance, emergency fund. In essence, it's to cover for catastrophic events that are out of your control, but require some form of security. This is including life insurance, disability, critical illness, and having an emergency fund. There are events that are out of your control, such as losing a job, becoming sick, or having a death in the family. In order to take care of those needs, there's some form of insurance that is needed to guard against these events. Once we've taken care of that need, then you can look at wealth accumulation. This is where you focus in on RSPs, TFSAs, and other forms of savings. This is only achievable once you have disposable income after factoring in the first 2 elements. This is where you're looking to build a retirement portfolio for yourself, your spouse, and children as well. For most of us, the accumulation of wealth phase is during our working years, because during our working years is when we earn our income that can be used to fund not only our lower level needs, but also our investment portfolio. Through careful planning, you can achieve the various goals you have in mind, but again, it has to take into account these various elements in the hierarchy. From wealth accumulation, then you can move on to financial freedom, which is the ultimate goal for most, if not everyone. This essentially is retirement planning. This is where you have left your job or business, your working years behind you, and now are ready to live off of the wealth that you've accumulated during your earlier working years. Through careful planning, the goal is to have sufficient savings to cover your retirement living and as well any health-related expenses that may incur, such as long-term care, any ongoing medical conditions you may have, as well as leisure trips that you've decided to take on during your retirement years. The final phase, again, which cannot be achieved without taking care of the first four, is the legacy phase. This is, again, where you're looking to plan for any excess income and wealth that you have not used in the first four phases to plan for. This may include will and estate planning, power of attorney, succession planning if you're a business owner, transferring wealth to the next generation, or leaving a charity. This cannot be looked at or factored in until you've, again, taken care of the first four needs. So it's very important that you look at things from bottom to top perspective. I hope you found this information useful, and please reach out if you have any further questions.